What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We had quite a wipeout over the last 24 hours in the cryptocurrency space. In this video we're looking at 3 altcoins that excite me to kind of buy the dip, if you want to call it, or buy the market blip. Now I want to also just talk about kind of why I think this might have happened, and it's not necessarily like a bad thing at all. It's not something to be overly worried about, but I think it's always important to actually like combat these things rather than just looking at it as like, oh, this massive shakeout occurred, I'm scared, I'm now gonna cheat and sell my position because I am afraid, and then you end up buying back in later at a loss, because I still think we are in the heart of the bull run. We're still halfway through it and we're not yet finished with this bull market cycle. So firstly, just looking at the total market capital of basically right here, it's crypto. You can see we've got $3.4 trillion market cap over here. And if we just quickly zoom out and we go back in time to 2021, we can see this is the weekly time frame. So each one of these green candles represents 1 week of real life time. We can see this is how the total market capital of crypto was moving back in 2021. So we'd have like 7 weeks of consecutive green, and then we'd have a few red, and then we'd have, continuation of the bull run. And you see, boom, euphoria, thrill, excitement, and then, we come back down. So basically, you can't really have sustenance with these green weekly candles for that long. And it doesn't matter how far back you go in time. You can see you're always getting a few green candles and then a couple red in that bull market macro trend. You can see even here on this massive impulse in October 2020, which is kind of similar to when this sort of cycle has really started to take off. You can see those 3, 6, 9 green, 1 red. That was the jeet phase right there. That wipes people out. Oh, Bitcoin's down 10%. Oh no, I can't handle it. Settle. You've lost. Now you've lost, because the next week it's gone up. Boom! 50% again. You've missed the window. You are down. And now your average entry is completely screwed. Have you been there before? I wonder. I've been there before, and it don't feel good. So I've learned my lesson the hard way. Now I personally think this is similar. We've just got a good flurry of green candles, very bullish momentum, just like we had over here in February with the major meme coin and alt season. And that brought us up, held us to a new high, and then we corrected a bit. We found a new average value, and now we've come back up, and we might have another red candle on the weekly. Who honestly knows? But I personally think that the end of cycle target here for the market capital of crypto in terms of the blockchain valuation asset class is going to be around 5.5 to 6.5 trillion. And some people might think I'm even conservative. We've also got the crypto fear and greed index. This is another important indicator to look at here, guys. You can see, looking at the last 3 months, we did delve into 90 plus on the fear and greed. So we went into extreme greed. People were very greedy because one thing never changes. Technology might change, things might change, material possessions might change, but one thing will never change. That's the brains in our head. Fear and greed, emotional cycles. These things, these consumer behaviors, these actions and impulses we do based on fear and greed will never change. They'll be there forever. Doesn't matter how far back you go, there's always some level of fear and greed. And it could be even around in caveman days, there's 5 fish remaining in the river, or there's 20 people, but there's only 5 fish. What's going to happen? How do you resolve that? Fear and greed would be the one thing that creates those decisions, right? And all logical moves. But sometimes fear and greed can invalidate fully a decision and make you do something silly. Also, the BLX chart. Bitcoin has entered the red territory. And last time round, when Bitcoin did get to the red territory, it did have a couple red candles. You can see here at $30,000. You can see over here at $50,000. Last time around, it did go a lot higher into the logarithmic regression band. So we are in the overheated zone, which does mean start taking profits slowly out the market. I do think we could work up still to $150,000. But it's another telltale sign that we're getting closer to the end of the bull market, right? And then I think we'll get the traditional cascade. We'll get the spiral down. Bitcoin will crumble down slowly, come back to maybe even like $40,000. And then we get our blue upside down cross of accumulation. This is the ape-in cross. The ape-in cross, where you're going to get a few weeks, maybe even less, to buy Bitcoin at the absolute lowest price. We had that here. We had our ape-in cross. Only lasted a little while. We had basically 4 months to ape the frickin' our upside down blue cross. And then we had, to be fair, I didn't even chart out the other upside down blue crosses, but this is something that I see in my mind, and you might think it's nonsense, but it just highlights extreme fear, undervaluation, and accumulation in the market post bull market cycle, because you don't want to be aping in here, you want to be actually aping in down here. And in 2026, that is my exact plan. I'm going to follow through with everything I've learned from all the cycle history, going back from 2014 cycle, studying these cycles meticulously, and just going with what I think makes sense, going against the popular belief, and being a contrarian in the market and thinking like a smart money. So yeah, with 5 minutes in this video, I do apologize for rambling on. Yeah, so Bitcoin 98k overall. We're not gonna put Bitcoin in this video, but Bitcoin being 98k right now, it's not a problem, guys. It's not a problem. Look at the 1 month growth. We're up from freaking $80,000 in a month. You look at 2 months. Go back to like October. We're up 50%. What more do you want? If you're asking for more sooner, you're just going to get a quicker outcome that's not in your favor even sooner. The quicker you want something to happen, the quicker the opposite effect will occur. So if you want things to grow super quick, it's also going to crash very quick. If you want a nice bit of sort of stability, rigidity with these prices, then don't be asking for 10x overnight, because that will absolutely tumble back down like a stack of Jenga blocks, guys, and it will hurt. So we need time in these markets. Now, coin number one is Ethereum, 3.7k. We can see Ethereum for me is something that I'm bullish on, especially leading up to Q1 of most bullish years. And Ethereum did have a shot up to $4,000 recently. It actually almost kind of went back to a local high on this year, $4,000. Bit of resistance. It did get rejected. True all-time high is 4.5k. Personally, I think with Q1 round the corner, we could see Ethereum do quite well. And it's consolidating nicely. It's spending a lot of time around the 3.5k region. It's holding pretty good. It could be showing signs of good conviction. We've had a weekly red candle here. On the daily time frame, we did become overbought as well in the RSI, so it comes with no surprise that we've had a bit of a pullback in these markets overall. But as long as we can hold this support of 3.6k and not fall through this very serious level of support, I would hope to see there is some continuation to the upside. Otherwise, we could fall back down. We could come back down to 3.4k or even 3.2k before making another entire leg up. It's hard to exactly say what will happen, and it does look like we are forming some sort of like bearish head and shoulders over here. No, you're thinking that looks like, you dirty bugger. But yeah, overall, we just got to wait and see what happens. There's tons of support, like I say, at the 3.5k region, right there, where we are getting a ton of buyback pressure, and someone is holding this floor right here. So Ethereum is going to be coin number one, because I believe that historical patterns suggest that Ethereum does perform quite well, especially in like the Q1 of a year. So looking at January 2025, looking at February 2025, should see Ethereum hopefully go up in price. You can let your friends know about that, share this video with them as well. Also, guys, if you're looking for some massive gains in these markets and want to make more money out of cryptocurrency, you can check the Patreon group down below, where we've got tons of trading signals, some giant trading signals to make you more money in these markets, but also some alpha calls to get you into some straight to DEX coins, meme coin alpha, and all that juicy stuff. So this coin did a 20-30x we had recently. We had this coin reflect a 3x just recently, early December, and then late November we had cat slap, which reflected, I think, from the very bottom like 11, 12, 13x. But on average, people didn't get in right at the bottom, so they were making like probably between, I want to say 6 and 8x, which is still really good. So if you do want access to all this VIP stuff in my Discord, the Patreon is the place to check out down below. And this will absolutely, in my opinion, help you grow in these markets, whether it's mental fortitude or just learning how to trade or just doing it, right? Without the emotions attached. See you soon. Next thing is going to be Aave. I'm very bullish on Aave. Mark Cuban, massive investor, is also bullish on Aave. Now we can see this look very parabolic over here on the particular all-time time frame, and it has moved ravenously. It's very much had a big impulse from these $160 levels. It's worked its way up to 275. We can see we've got $4.17 billion market cap here, so we're still quite away from the previous all-time high, which was sitting around 7.3 billion. But I also think this market cycle, it could be a possibility. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos on Aave, from the accumulation range, it's at $50. That is our perfect and most true accumulation range. This is when we're in the very bear market bottom, and things are indeed quite boring. Now we've actually broken through to 3 insane targets. First one being $109, next one being $150, and now we've just broken through this massive resistical barrier of $260, flipped into a major support. So that was one take profit zone. If you've been holding from the floor, holding from $50, I also want to reiterate, there is nothing wrong with taking profits. If someone's making you feel guilty for selling a bit of something, then you should not allow them to, because it's your money at the end of the day. You worked hard for it, and there's nothing wrong with taking profits in these markets that are designed for you to do so. But on the contrary, people, the media, influencers make you feel bad if you do decide to take profits. It's like, oh, you must hodl or you're a traitor. No, bro. You can sell when the heck you want. You can sell whenever you want with no judgment attached. And I advise, not financial advice, but I always think taking profits is good. Be grateful for profits. Be content with your profits. Even if it's not making you a bazillionaire overnight. Profit is profit. Yep, this also does look quite euphoric for me on the weekly time frame. It's just hit like a selling indicator. So I'm not saying to buy Aave on this dip. I'm saying to look out this time round for potentially a correction that might happen. If the correction happens and we pull back to like $200 to $160 for this coin, then I'd be like, okay, this is showing a nice correction. It's holding. We're back to a new point of interest. And maybe we could correct down lower. The only reason I think we might not correct lower here is the buying pressure on that weekly red candle is insane. You can see here when it dropped to 227, the buying pressure was just insane. So it might not even happen. And to be fair, that could have been the correction already for Aave, because it did already just show 27% move to the downside. It is just looking super, super overbought at the moment as an altcoin in general. You can see it's back into the high RSI structure. Overall, Aave is a landing platform, borrowing sort of protocol. You can see earn interest and borrow assets, access the full power of DeFi. So personally, I think it's got a strong fundamental base. It's got a lot of liquidity locked in. It's a big narrative here, transforming the way people can borrow, lend, and get APY in these DeFi markets. So definitely one that I'm looking at. It still has the potential to go higher, by the way. I'm not saying, oh, Aave is completely shot and done. We can actually see, according to Fibonacci extension, that Aave could, this is going to sound wild, it could hit $1,000, guys. It could even hit $1,000. So it's not off the cards. Not off the cards at all. If you are also buying cryptos, by the way, boys and girls, make sure you check out KSEX down below, because this is the lowest cost exchange in the crypto market. I absolutely guarantee it. You're not going to find an exchange cheaper or lower in cost than KSEX. So we push this one because we want to make sure that you guys can save money, compound savings over time. And I guarantee that most people will only push exchanges that have big, big fees because they want to make more commission. Now, I'm not going to expose people, but that is kind of how it goes. So we don't really care about that here. We just want to know that people are winning and people are trading in a safe, suitable, relevant place that can help them scale rewards and compound savings over time. So check out KSEX down below, globally accessible and also KYC free. So you don't have to give up your precious data and have third parties capitalize on it without you knowing. So that's also a nice benefit. Now let's talk about coin number 3. Arbitrum, 0.946. This is another coin that excites me. You can see on the market capital side over here, boys and girls, it hit 5 billion and now it's down to 3.8 billion. So that shows me a 20% correction in these markets. Arbitrum is a big one. You can see did recently actually go to an all-time high. So if you think there is more in the tank for Arbitrum, which I personally do on the Arbitrum chain, see here 1.1 million followers, official account of the Arbitrum Foundation dedicated to the decentralization, security and growth of the Arbitrum technologies. So this is another coin that does actually excite me in terms of their true fundamental value. Welcome to the future of Ethereum. I mean, I think that says enough, but just based on price movement alone, this one does also make me feel quite bullish. You could see, looking in March, this was $2.05. Now, there's been a bit of inflation, as you can see, because before it was at $2 with 2.8 billion market cap, whereas now it's actually at only $1, but with almost an all-time high on the market cap. So don't try and hold until $2 because it's going to require 2 times as much market capital for the same price. This is because more coins have been injected into the circulation and therefore it dilutes the value of each token. Imagine you got Bitcoin of 21 million supply and it just doubled to 42. Right now, the price of Bitcoin will fold in half, and that would be just tragic. So yeah, Arbitrum is another cool one. Maybe I'll be capitalizing around like a 20-30% move to the upside from here. So that's about a wrap, folks, of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you like this kind of video talking about altcoins. Coin number 1, we had Ethereum. Coin number 2, we had Aave. Coin number 3, we had Arbitrum. So 3 altcoins I generally feel bullish on. You can also buy these, leverage trade them with KSEX, or do whatever you want, and do consider becoming a patron if you want to make more money in these markets potentially and achieve time, location, and financial freedom. See you soon. Thanks for watching and subscribe. Peace.